Hey everyone, it's J-Pop fan Sugiko and welcome to part 3 of how to make your own Attack on Titan belt and harness. Continuing the gray parts from part 2, the back part that connects to the main belt, you're going to draw a long rectangle that is half an inch away from the side and is about 1.5 inch long. For the two lower parts that goes into a triangle form, you will just make it this long, just a bit longer than 1 inch. Now after doing that, you will take a razor and cut it out. This is how it should look like. Now you're going to fold it onto the other side. Use a pen to color the rectangle so that on the other side, you won't have to remeasure everything. And then you would just cut it out with a razor. This is how the final product should look like. Now in this picture, the side belt for the leg, I didn't make the middle part yet. I made that later on, but just pretend that they are there. So you're going to take your black pleather and turn it over to the other side. You're going to trace these three with your silver or gold metallic marker. When you're done tracing, cut them out. This is how it should look like, ignoring the two rectangles. Moving back to the two parts that are on the back, the bottom of the buttons for the small ones, you can throw those away. We're only going to use the silver buttons. So you're going to take the button and you're going to take the middle part out. It's going to look like this in the end. You're going to take this from the bigger buttons and you're going to cut it. You're going to cut it until it's just this one layer. So this is how it should look like. And then you're going to put it in. It's going to be kind of hard to put it in, so you're going to have to play with it just a little. The first thing you want to do is mark 4 even places away from the middle button for the smaller buttons to go there. And then you're going to make a hole at each 4 areas. Put the kit under the small silver button. That way the small button will stay nice and smooth. After you're done putting it in, you're going to use a cylinder and you're just going to hammer it down. Do the same thing to the other 7 buttons. This is how it should look like in the end. When you're done gluing the black pleather onto the gray PVC fabric, you're going to use a razor to cut out the black pleather. And then you're going to put glue all over this part. Do not put glue onto the 2 axes because that is where the belt will slide through. I use this clip to clip them so while they're gluing and drying, they will stay in place and they won't open back up or anything. Now for the leg side parts, before gluing the black pleather onto the gray PVC fabric for the leg side belts, you're going to put a button on right in the middle. After you're done with putting the button in, glue everything except for the middle. I messed up on that part, so it was really hard to get the glue to not stick. After you are done gluing and the glue has dried, use a razor to cut out the 4. This is how the final product should look like. Now for the side parts that goes onto the hip, I messed up a lot on this. It was smaller and I messed up on the button. Even though I messed up, we're going to use the same template that I used for my messed up one because it's still useful. You're going to make a 3.5 by 6 rectangle. You're going to draw a line right at 1.5 and 4. Leave a space between all these 3 areas because the space we're going to cut bits of it out. That way you can fold the fabric because this fabric is pretty thick. You're going to take the top 1.5 and trace it. You're going to use a 0 to 4 inch square to trace it out, and then you're going to use a 1.5 to 4 inch rectangle to trace it out. And then you're going to want to leave a space under for the buttons. I just drew where the buttons would be. That way when I cut it, I can have enough space for the buttons to be there. After you're done tracing, you can cut it out and you can cut out another one that is the exact same thing. You're going to use a razor and cut out the parts that are not colored in with the black pen. This is how it should look like in the end. Where you drew your circle buttons, you're going to want to draw a dot right in the center. That way you can use the hole puncher and punch right at the right spot. You're going to fold up the smaller flap and then fold the bigger one over, and then use a pen to draw in the circles onto the small flap. That way when you put on the buttons will line up. So it should look something like this. You're going to draw a plus sign right in the middle, and then you're going to cut it out with the razor. After you're done cutting the plus sign, you can cut a square out of it, making 4 tiny triangles. That way the button can go through, since the hole puncher can't reach that far. When you're done, put it onto the black pleather, trace it out and cut it out, and then glue it on. After the glue has dried, you can cut off the extra black fabric that are sticking out. Use a razor to cut out all the black areas that you see, and you can use a hole puncher for the holes. Now for the buttons, I only took a picture tutorial for the old one that was small, but it's still the exact same thing. So you're going to use this button and you're going to put it onto the kit. The kit should have 2 sides to it, so you're going to want to flip to this side. Put the back button on there, and then you're going to want to have the black pleather facing you, facing up. And then you're going to put this button onto there. You're going to put this part of the button on top of the black pleather. Put the cylinder into the middle and hammer it down. And since I messed up on this a lot, I have to keep telling you guys, make sure that the buttons clip together, because I messed up 2 times on this, so that was like a lot of money wasted right there. I can't stress it enough. Just make sure the buttons clip. This is how it should look like in the end, and when you button them up, it should look like this. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in part 4.